So if you're shopping for a home in Connecticut, let me save you a few headaches because there are some very specific types of houses that look perfect online and then quietly drain your soul once you move in. Today I'm going to break down the types of homes buyers should try to avoid in Connecticut and why they might be more trouble than they're worth. And stick around for the last one because that's the one that fools everyone. Connecticut definitely has gorgeous real estate. We have colonials, capes, farmhouses, Victorians, beachfront homes, lake cottages, you name it, we have it. But mixed in with all these charming homes are some real doozies. The first one I like to warn people about is the house with the driveway from hell. Connecticut loves a long, steep driveway, which is why we have so many homes with driveways that seem like a toboggan run. We've all been there. Either you've looked at homes like this while house hunting, or you visited a friend's house that has one, or maybe you have one. It's like a death trap. Super steep, narrow, and has no guardrails or any type of stone wall on either side of it. You know the ones I'm talking about. They have that obligatory parking space either at the bottom of the driveway or halfway up the driveway. Because you start out thinking, I'm definitely going to get my car up. And either you can't get the car up at all, or you can only get the car up halfway, and then you have to just park it in that random spot that's been created. So truth be told, there's many houses that have driveways like this in Connecticut. They might be north facing, and so they stay icy from November to April. No sun hits it at all during the day. Steep slopes turn into ski jumps after freezing rain or snow. There's just no way around it. Your car will be slipping and sliding the whole way. And you definitely need momentum to get that car up the driveway in the winter. And sometimes if you live on a busier road, you can't even create that momentum. Hence why you have that random spot that you created at the bottom of your driveway so you can park there and just hoof it up. Delivery trucks won't even attempt it. And snow removal is a whole other discussion. If you're doing it yourself, God forbid, it's like so treacherous, I can't imagine doing it. Or if you're lucky enough to find someone to plow it for you, they're going to charge you an arm and a leg. And sometimes coupled with that house with the steep driveway is the bonus, the cliff in the backyard. Connecticut has so many hills and ridgelines and rock outcroppings that they are all over the state. I can't tell you how many times I've seen an amazing home that literally has a death drop in the backyard. What were builders thinking? There's about 10 to 15 feet of yard and then a sheer drop into woods or water. It's crazy to me. I always make sure to point this out to clients, especially if they have young children. Another favorite in Connecticut is the 1960s or 1970s time capsule raised ranch. That's right. The raised ranch is Connecticut's official mascot, and they are everywhere. But some of them haven't been updated since Nixon was in office. We have all definitely lived in one or knew someone that lived in one. Some of my favorite issues with this style home are the awkward split level entries where they just confuse everyone. Do I go up the stairs or do I go down the stairs? I see a family room downstairs, but should I go up the stairs to the kitchen first? And then there's these basement family rooms that make you feel like you're in a hostage video set. Wood paneling and this old bar that's been there since the 70s. You know what I'm talking about. Or how about the galley kitchens that are barely the width of a canoe? You can't even move around in there, never mind have two people. People walk in there expecting retro charm, and they walk out knowing why it's been sitting on the market with multiple markdowns. Another favorite of mine is the antique home with antique problems. Connecticut has homes from the 1700s and 1800s. Beautiful, yes. Unique, absolutely. But unless you love owning a museum, proceed cautiously. Some of my favorite issues with these types of homes are uneven floors that slant like funhouse attractions. I remember having a discussion with a client and they said, I wonder if I put a marble down, how fast it'll roll down this floor. Seriously, the floor was that slanted. Another staple of these homes are rock foundations. And yes, they're beautiful, but they weren't designed for modern moisture levels. And many of these old colonials have outdated wiring. Hello, knob and tube. Or they have chimneys that lean and are crumbling. Insulation? Forget about it. What's insulation? And my personal favorite, sometimes these homes are located in historic districts, and these historic districts restrict renovations. So when you're looking at an antique home, you're not just buying the antique home, you're signing up for a lifetime of renovations and gotcha moments. Then there's the shoreline home, now classified as technically waterfront. Connecticut shoreline homes are stunning, but they definitely come with some fine print. The ones that scream approach with caution are the ones that are one strong storm away from being underwater. And let's be honest, some people have plenty of money to deal with this type of disaster, but most of us do not. We cannot afford to rebuild a home from the ground up or add an elevation to the home so it's almost on stilts. And on top of it, these homes are located in flood zones, requiring flood insurance that costs more, much more than a car payment. These can be up to $5,000 to $7,000 a year. Or they're sitting on eroding lots, and we know what that means. Your sandy, beachy backyard, that's waterfront, is just washing away, and soon your whole home will be in the water. And if you buy an older shoreline home, they were definitely built long before modern hurricane standards. Now granted, we don't get the hurricanes here that they do in the Southeast. Not nearly as many or not nearly as strong, but they still do happen. And yes, the sunsets are beautiful from these homes. And yes, the flood insurance deductible will bring a tear to your eye. We also have a lot of homes with creative additions. Connecticut has many homes where the floor plan is, let's call it, interpretive. You all know what I'm talking about. What seemed like a good idea at the time now has some people wondering, what the heck were they thinking? My favorite is turning a non-insulated sunroom into a bedroom. Who would want to be in a bedroom that cold? Or kitchens that were moved into a former porch area. How about bathrooms added wherever they could squeeze one in? This used to be a closet, but let's jam a toilet in there. Or my favorite, the room with a random toilet in it. It's not even in a closet, it's just in a room in the corner. No joke, I've seen them. Or how about roof lines that look like 5 houses stacked together? None of it makes sense. Random gables, flat spots, peaks. It's all over the place. So when the listing says expanded over time, that's code for you're going to be confused and you're not going to want to spend the money. And last but not least, the one you've been waiting for, the home that backs up to protected land. At first glance, this sounds amazing. Ultimate privacy, woods for days, nature, birds, peace and quiet. But here's the reality. Protected land often means you get all the wildlife. And some people might think, oh, that's great. But every animal known to Connecticut will find its way to your yard. And it might sound like a National Geographic channel, but realistically, some of these animals are scary, and some of them try to invade your home. Another hazard is that trees fall during storms, or just randomly. Again, anyone that has trees in their yards deals with this, but when it's protected lands, there's a special kind of situation here. Because it's protected land, you might not be allowed to go through your lot and clear trees that look dead. So you can't be preventative about them falling. So you may not be able to cut or trim or clear anything without a 97-step permit process. Or you may have some type of water feature on your property, whether it's a small pond or a little stream. Again, seems idyllic, but watch out. Not only will it become a mosquito haven, but when you get heavy rains or storms, these quaint little ponds and streams tend to overflow and turn your yard into a swamp. We used to have a small stream. It really was truly small, maybe 2 feet across, that ran along the side of our former home. And it wasn't super close to the house. I'd say at least 100 feet away. But every single time we had a heavy rain, it would overflow and make our side yard completely flooded. And then it would run all into our driveway. And eventually it just completely destroyed it. Cracks and warping. It was a costly issue that we had to fix. Just keep your wits about you when you're starting to look at homes. Homes that might seem charming, or homes that might have peace and quiet written all over them. just watch out. Not because they're terrible, but because they're sneaky troublemakers. So drop a comment below and let me know if you've ever lived in a home like this, or if you think I missed one. And be sure to subscribe, because you're going to want to keep on top of my weekly Connecticut content. And as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.